the courage to bounce back. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, all protocols observed. Before we begin, I want to ask a favor of all of you. I want us to slow down for a moment. I want you to close your eyes. Go ahead. For just a moment, I want you to travel back in your memory to a time when things didn't go as planned. I'm not talking about a missed deadline or a minor hiccup. I'm talking about a moment that truly shook the ground beneath your feet. I want you to think about a moment where the path you were walking on simply shattered. Maybe it was a phone call you never expected to receive, that one that rang at 2 p.m. on a Tuesday and divided your life into before and after. Maybe it was a ping of a notification, seeing the subject line and reading those polite but devastating words. Your role is now redundant. In a split second, the career identity you wore like a second skin is now stripped away. Maybe it's the deafening silence in a room after a relationship ended, where the only thing louder than the quiet is the breaking of your heart. Maybe it was the staring at a bank balance that mocked your hard work, the harsh gap between your sweat and harvest. Maybe it was sitting in a doctor's office, listening to a diagnosis that froze time, while the doctor's voice sounded like it was coming from underwater. Or maybe it was the crushing weight of our current political reality. That moment you watched the news, had a sudden government announcement, a political shift, a lockdown, a new tax, and the cold realization hit you that this business you spent 10 years to build may not survive. We all have been there, that dead end, that rock bottom, that feeling of total, absolute collapse. Now open your eyes and say after me, I am here, I survived, and I bounced back. The book we are launching today is titled Bounce Back, and it begins with a powerful truth. Things don't always go as planned. Sometimes they shatter, bend, and break us in ways we never imagined. Isn't that the truth? We live in a world that loves to celebrate the after photo. We love the success stories, but we rarely talk about the during. We rarely talk about the shattering. But here is what I have come to learn. Life has a way of breaking us, not to destroy us, but to show us the strength of our own glue. In the Maasai kingdom, where part of my ancestors are from, there is a tradition when a precious beaded ornament is damaged. It could be a warrior's shield, or a bride's beaded collar, or a sacred vessel. We don't discard it. Instead, the artisans carefully repair it, weaving new vibrant beads through the broken sections. After choosing colors that stand out against the original design, we believe the piece becomes more powerful and beautiful because it has been broken. The broken and repaired beadwork becomes a testament to care and commitment. Someone invested time, skill, and artistry to restore the mattered. The act of putting ourselves back together is not about survival. It is a powerful demonstration of resilience. It is the reminder that even in our lowest moments, Strength and renewal can be born from a tough time. Today, I want to talk about why this act of bounce back is not just a personal journey, but a critical act of leadership, especially for us women. The pressure to be perfect, the perfect professional, the perfect caregiver who never misses school events, the perfect partner, wife, girlfriend, the perfect daughter, the perfect friend. Society whispers to us constantly, lean in, hold your tears, chin up, shoulders back. A strong woman suffers in silence. Never let them see you hurt. But what happens when the floor beneath you gives way? What happens when we lean in and the whole structure collapses? I will tell you what happens. This is where magic happens. This is where we find our authentic power. This is where women fall, get up, wipe the dust off their knees, and dares to share her story. She does something revolutionary. She redefines strength. She shows that vulnerability is not the opposite of power. It is the foundation of genuine connection. When we share our scars, we give others permission to heal. This message is so important now, at this very moment in time. Why? Because the world, as it's known for its own edge, we navigate a collective disruption in our economies, our societies, our planet, where anxiety is in the air. It's time, in time of crisis, we don't need more voices pretending to have all the answers. We don't need more perfection. We need voices that have known deep uncertainty and found a way through. We need voices of women because our stories are often forged in the fire of overcoming. We understand in our bones how to manage scarcity. We know how to navigate complex emotional landscapes. We know how to build community, well, when institutions fail. The lesson in Bounce Back on bravery, resilience, and tenacity are the very lessons our communities need to heal. When a woman shares her story of rising from financial ruin, she stops being a victim and becomes a financial strategist for the soul. When a woman speaks about overcoming depression, she becomes a lighthouse for someone else trapped in a dark tunnel. When she details the rebuilding and after the relational breakdown, she charts a map for others who feel lost at sea. This is leadership. This is practical, it is relatable, and it is transformative. So the question remains, how do we cultivate this bounce back? Resilience in our own lives, based on our journey in this book. I offer you 3 pillars. The first, give yourself permission to fall. You must give yourself permission to not be okay. It is okay to not be okay. We must reject the tyranny of the perfect, unbroken narrative. Cry if you must, rest if you must. Breaking is not sign of weakness. Sometimes it is the shedding of a skin that no longer fits you. Second, lean on your sisterhood. Look around you. The women in the room, the women in our lives, they are not our competition. They are our collaborators in resilience. We are authors of this book, didn't journey alone. We held each other up. We are now a chorus of hope for each other. Find your tribe and let them hold you when you are too tired to stand. And third, reframe your collapse. What if your rock bottom isn't a grave? What if it is a solid foundation upon which to build something new? What if it is the failure was not a label, but a lesson? What if the ending is in fact the necessary beginning you need or never saw coming. The arrow cannot be shot forward until it is dragged backwards. Your setback is simply the step for your launch. Bounce Back is more than just a group. It is about survival. It is a manifesto on rediscovery, growth, and the audacity to thrive again. So I leave you with this challenge today. Let us stop fearing the fall, and let us instead trust in our ability to bounce back. Let us celebrate our scars as proof that we fought a battle and we are still standing. And let us, especially as women, raise our voices, not just when we are on the mountain peak, but especially when we are climbing out of the valley. Our stories be a beacon. Let our resilience be our leadership. Let our bounce back be an inspiration to everyone in this room, everyone who reads the book, and that one person who's still on the ground trying to find the strength to rise. Because from the darkest places, it is not possible to rise. It is possible to rise stronger, wiser, and more powerful than ever before. Asante.